When Victoria was 5, her family left the neighbourly terrace in Tottington Road. When she was 11, her mother went to college and subsequently trained as a teacher. Her father was an insurance salesman who also played part-time in a dance band.
I played the piano with him, that was the main thing that I did with him. Because he was a frustrated entertainer. He'd done shows in the Navy and things like that. He would have loved to have done what I did. I suppose this is the right road. I've never actually driven from Tottington to my other house. I wrote the names of the notes underneath a piece of music that I knew, playing Doodle. I taught myself to read music from that. And I did have lessons, but I couldn't cope. I couldn't cope with being with the piano teacher in the same room. I was too shy. I used to sweat. My hands used to slip off the keys. I was so nervous. So I stopped going to piano lessons. And so I started playing on my own. And I thought, well, my parents would be cross if I played the piano because I'm not having lessons. So I used to play piano in secret. And when they were going out, I used to run to the piano. I used to dream about playing the piano. And then when I heard their car come up the drive, I used to get off the piano, close the lid, and the piano would be still steaming. And I run to the living room, put the television on. For years I did that. Just something that I did in private. And then they said, we know you play the piano. And then I started having lessons again when I was 13. I played anything I could read. I was very good at sight reading.
I've been lessons by you. Should ask for a refund.
And when we lived in a very strange way, we all lived in separate rooms in my house. We lived in this big house on a windswept hill on the moors. And I had a room with a piano and a television in it. And I had to watch television or play the piano or read or ate sweets. And I just did those 4 things, usually all at the same time. And I've based my career on at least 3 of them. I was left to my own devices. So I lived in a very odd world. I don't know if I was obsessive because I had nothing else to do, or whether I was just like that anyway. I think I have a streak of that in me anyway. And, you know, if I'd lived on a road and had tons of friends, I think I would have been a bit like it. But it was certainly, it was a way of filling up time as much as anything.
Were you worried that your parents sort of stood back so much or not?
No, that's just the way it was. And I didn't expect anything different, really. That's what we were used to, that we all lived in a very separate way.
There's a problem. There's no support vessel, no officials, nobody. Chris is entirely alone. Are you still going to go, Chrissy?
I think so. I might as well. His friend Marie's a Kidderminster today, so I haven't got anybody to play with anyway.
That was 8 days ago. And Chrissy hasn't yet reached land. No one seems to know where she is.
Sure she'll turn up eventually. Slow but sure, that's our Chrissy.
Yeah, she's probably just swimming about looking for a nice beach. Ice creams and donkeys, you know how kids are.
Was it helpfully isolating looking back?
I don't know. It's the way it was, and you know, from this standpoint, it was absolutely fine. You know, I'm all right.
So can you look back and feel any encouragement there from this?
There was encouragement in the sense that you could do what you wanted. Which was a bit scary in a sense, but it made me very. I mean, on the one hand, I was shy and I didn't go out very much. I didn't have a very normal social life until I went to the youth theatre, and when my life changed and the sun came out. But it was you know, at least I had freedom to. I had an individual mind. I think, you know, I have a good vocabulary because I read all the time, and that's been very useful to me.
What gave you this sort of idea to go to this theatre club when you were about 15?
Because my sister went, and I just suddenly thought, oh yes, this is the thing I can do. This is what I'm good at. After being told at school, oh, you can't do this, you're hopeless at this, you're bad at that, you know, you're so naughty and dirty and messy. And I suddenly, you know, this thing clicked. I thought, well, this is the thing I can do. This is The Swish of the Curtain by Pamela Brown. This is my favourite book as a child, and one of my favourite books now, which is about some children who find a disused chapel and start a theatre in it, open a theatre, and write all their own shows, songs, scripts, everything, and act all the parts and make all the costumes. Very true to life. And then, of course, they all go on to go to drama school and become famous actors and actresses. And it was my, you know, that was my life. That's what I wanted to do. She took the heavy statue and turned to the applauding audience. What was she expected to do now? Why, of course, behave just as in the word picture she had painted to the others that day at Browcliffe. She curtsied, then looking up to the familiar faces in the gallery, kissed her hand. The applause grew deafening, and gradually the people rose in their seats, still clapping. The theatre stood and cheered and stamped, while Lynn bowed and smiled for an eternity. I mean, you might think that the reality is only a disappointment after that, but really it's not good. It's as good as this. which is nice, isn't it? Oh, I'm 17 and I live round here and it's not so bad. And oh, my sister's left, so I'm just at home with my mum and dad. But oh, I'm really looking forward to when I won't be here, when I fly away to a better day. That's my idea, it's my best idea, it's a great idea. And oh, I had this job and it weren't much cop, so I packed it in. And oh, my mum went mad, she said, what have you done? Said I packed it in. I just walked out, I packed it in. 'Cause oh, somewhere around the corner and headed straight my way, I can see so clear, I won't be here, I'll have a better day, a better day.
Does that song come out of something you remember very much of your teen?
No, it comes out of how I perceive people to be living at the moment, really. It's not from my own life, where I've managed to achieve a lot of the things I wanted to do, but I'm very aware of the generation of people who have no chance of getting away. That's what their song is about.
You see that just...
See that around me now, since the 70s and 80s.
Sort of these marooned youth, really.
I mean, I think, you know, the 70s weren't brilliant, but there was a hint that you might one day get a job or that things might improve, and they did improve, and then they went down again. I mean, it's happened to people twice. People lose hope. Oh, what they say at school, and like on the news, it's all a con. 'Cause look at me, I have these dreams, and they won't come true. Like they say, dream on. Me mum says that, dream on, Andrea, dream on, Andrea. And oh, something set me thinking, this thing my grand would say, we'll win, it'll all begin when a ship comes in, we'll have a better day. Well, I'm 17 and I live round here and it's not so bad. And my sister's left, so I'm just at home with my mum and dad. And oh, something set me thinking, this thing that she would say, we'll win, it'll all begin when a ship comes in, we'll have a better day, a better day, a better day. I'm just relieved to think that it's come off and nothing awful happened. I mean, I can't deny that it's an effort to do. And it's like climbing a series of little hills, you know. I've got, you know, I get the first half out of it and think, oh, now I've got that thing in the belly, then I've got that song which is so difficult to articulate, and I've got to make sure I get my mouth around that, then I've got that whole piece and that's got to be chopped up really nicely and not just run into a sort of big bland mess. It's got to be broken up. And then I've got that big song, and then I've got the little song. And then, if I get an encore, I've got Barry and Frida. And then I've got the last thing. So it's, you know, it's not like a show you can, you know, it's not like Valdivian in a rocking chair. You can't really sit back on it. So mainly like, oh, I think, yes, we did that. You know, nothing terrible happened. I didn't dry. I didn't forget any of the words. And then a bit later I think, oh yeah, and they laughed, you know, if I think about that. But mainly, I just think, God, you know, get your mascara, have a wash. Go and sun yourself. I'm embarrassing. This will be Jeffrey. Hello? Yeah? Huh. It was really good. Yeah. Well, I'm here with the camera crew. Yeah. Don't speak up. Don't speak up. Don't call me Chuchy Bottom. All right then. I've got to go and do this stage door thing. Oh, hello!
Because I've been signed.
Oh, you signed already?
In Liverpool.
Oh. Well, they're very nice, I must say. Yeah, especially me. People project onto me, they project onto any performer that they see on the television. They have an idea of what they think they're like.
What do you think they project onto you?
That I'm nice, they think. I'm not, but that's what they think I am. They think I'm nice and friendly. My husband says they think I'm their best friend, you know.
Mm.
And that's fine. On the stage, I'm happy to be their best friend.
And what do you do for them, do you think? What do you help them through?
Well, like every comedian, it's saying, this is how our life is. And it's a really important part of people's lives in comedy, so it's an important part for everybody.
Look, if I go out with the photo, wouldn't I? No, I need to crouch. No, I don't do myself. That's how I am.